All right, family. The General, we live, man. We got a Patreon preview of some file that's coming up tomorrow. I want you in the house. We got the link right there in the chat at the top. I want you to click it. I want you to be in the house. Anytime you come to my Patreon, we got five levels, and any level you join, it's a treasure under that level. There's no level. The General always feed the people. You feel what I'm saying? So it's 5. But when you talk about these mind blowing, this is 2025. You see, and goddamn it, you supposed to be with the advanced level, and I had to take it to the advanced level because people's out here, they are haters. And when you get in, you get to touching on information like this right here, you feel what I'm saying? People get upset. People get upset. So that's why I had to do it this way. You feel what I'm saying? Who's riding the goat? The perverted origins of Freemasonry. And we see what's going on right now. We see what's going on. All these niggas is Freemasons. And they all perverted. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. Don't you dare think it, that is any other way than what the General is telling you. You see? But you got to go off into this brotherhood. You see? You got to go off into this brotherhood. And you got to look at the little junior varsity groups like the frats and the sorors, and they got the little junior varsity groups. But that they give them a little bit of but that's where they showing how perverted and how demonic they is even at that level, at that level. But this is crazy because the motto is who's riding the goat. But the question is, are you riding the goat or is the goat riding you? You see, you're in there. And so I didn't put up many and just show people that, you got to even talk about Aleister Crowley. Sickest man, the sickest man, no, not the sick, the wickedest man that ever lived. That's what his mama coined the term. His mama coined the term. The wickedest man that ever lived. Nah, he was a 33rd degree Freemason. Intertwined all that in, but they got, it's already coming with that. They don't want to talk about all them kind of cats that was in Freemasonry, and they all, doing all type of demonic rituals and shit. Yeah, you can look Aleister Crowley up, and you can see him with all his regalia on, and he tell you that the motherfuckers in the is it Scottish Rite, York Rite? They got the Baphomet symbol on their hat. Got the Baphomet. Aleister Crowley opened it up on their ass. What's his name? What's that motherfucker that wrote the Morals and Dogma? Albert Pike. Sitting in there with the Baphomet symbol. He's sitting up in the chair with the Baphomet symbol. Clearly telling the people, you come into Freemason, they tell you that Lucifer is God. That's what Albert Pike, what's the other motherfucker? They consider him Manly P. Hall. He also was Luciferian. So these motherfuckers worship Lucifer. This is a reality. See, when I was coming out on these cats and peeling back, that occult shit that they was in, people say, nah, you can see all the top motherfuckers. They knocking them on the head. Yeah, they in the in crowd with that bullshit. They in the in crowd with that bullshit up there, all out there putting up the Baphomet sign, and people say, oh, what is that? What is that? And so I had to show motherfuckers. You know what it is. People don't even know about that one that they call the kiss of shame. The kiss of shame. You know, in that witchcraft shit. You know, and that's the white boy Jim Carrey had put he had put it out there. You know, when they be putting that symbol up there, you know, which is a Jewish symbol, but in masonry they let you know listen. You know, and Jim Carrey put it up there and put his tongue through it to let you know, you understand what I'm saying? But, and then I went and showed you the kiss of shame, where when the witch is initiated, they had to, you understand, they had to kiss the devil in the ass. Somebody got to tell you this shit. You see what I'm saying? That somebody got to tell you this shit. And so even when you talk about the goat, but I always didn't told that been one of they premier zoo type is the goddamn across the board. Since all the way since the days of Rome and goddamn Greece, that shit then carried down with the elite of the European world, you know. And so, yeah, they got this. That's why I had to touch on y'all with Saturn, and I'm gonna still touch on you, which is the dual the dual personalities. You got Pan, the goat, and then you got Saturn. So when you come into December, you will see that Capricorn is in the house of Saturn. So they are dual personalities. You see the two sides of the same coin. Okay, two sides. So when you talk about Pan, which is anytime you see any manifestation of the goat in the European world, it is only an archetype of Pan, not Lucifer, not all of them, Lucifer, Baphomet, and the Capricorn, and all of that. Those are archetypes of Pan, the primordial goat god. You see, every other god is only a manifestation of Pan. And so when you get in there with Pan and you get into that Greek mythology and shit, you see where, how he's a deviant motherfucker. He take. You see what I'm saying? So many times when you get in there and you see the goat, the Pan, you see him then strong arm a woman carrying her off some damn where. And so that way you get where you get horny goat weed and shit and all that. He's a deviant. He's a deviant. And so you get, and so when you get is carnal, when he lust. Yeah, they fucking with, yeah, went in and out. Make sure my internet, yeah. So they, look up his nature. They say it's carnal. You see the way, which means they say he's lewd. You see, salacious. You know what I'm saying? That he's a vulgar motherfucker. Salacious, lewd, carnal. And that's where you get carnival from. Motherfuckers want to say that's what it is, because the first carnival was Saturnalia. You understand? Where they come out and, be all out in the streets and shit, drunk, naked, pissing all in the street. You understand? Touching on peoples and shit and all, just wow. And so everything that you see today is only a manifestation of Saturnalia. You understand what I'm saying? And so any festival or any of that, Pan is, he's the one that energizes, you understand, when it comes to the lewdness. And then you have Bacchus and see, and when it come to that carnival, Bacchus and Pan was they like, you understand? They like, again, that's another duality. You have Saturn and Pan, and then you have Bacchus and Pan. And Bacchus was the god of wine. And so with Bacchus being the god of wine, then you got Pan. You understand what I'm saying? Who bring that lewd, salacious, vulgar behavior. That's what breathe the life into the carnival. You see, and that's why a lot of people ban that shit. They banned it. A lot of them Puritans, when they came over here, they banned Christmas, they banned Easter, they banned all that shit. Because that's how they celebrate. Listen to me. That's how they celebrated Christmas. That's how they celebrated Easter. That's how they celebrated all them holidays. Just like Mardi Gras. Just like you go down and you see Mardi Gras and all that vulgarness, that was the same way that they celebrated Christmas, and that's the same way they celebrated Easter. So they banned both of them motherfuckers when they came over here. You see, but that's that goat. That's that goat. But it's also a lot of wicked shit. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't even, man, listen here. Some of this shit, I had to go to the highest level of security just to be able to show this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, today, but they'll put all that bullshit up on internet. But when it come to truth and you got receipts, oh no, they don't want that shit up there. So when you talk about who riding the goat, it's a lot of bestiality in that shit. You feel what I'm saying? As you can see, but that's right there, PG. You understand what I'm saying? That's PG. But I tell you what, it's some that ain't PG. It's some that ain't PG. So when they say who's riding the goddamn goat, then you have to ask yourself the serious question, man, why would the fuck you engage in some shit like that, nigga? You see what I'm saying? What the fuck is you talking about? And then y'all Luciferians and shit like that. Oh no. So people think, oh, that just no, don't believe it. Because Albert Pike clearly stated, and I don't care. I put the shit out there. Yeah, I put the shit out there. Yeah, the Jews in the worship of Pan. All of them in the worship of Pan. All of them. Every last one of them. Not just, but he handed it down to them. They've been into that since Greece and Rome. And the Jew ain't nothing but a Roman. That's all they is. They ain't nothing but Romans. You see, and it is what it is. It is what it is. But all of them is into Saturn. All of them is in the Pan. Not one of them is excluded in that. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want nobody. And so that's why I try to drop that information on y'all. So, and give you the signs and the symbols of what's going on out here. What's going on out here. The Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? That's why, and I'm glad, and we're going to see that. That's why they sacrifice the goat. You know what I'm saying? God, and they say, sacrifice me a goat, and so why is it that, you into, and people don't know, I'm going to blow your mind. I'm going to show you right over there in Israel, that they had temples to Pan over in Israel, BC. They had temples over there before Christ. They were already venerated. It's still over there. You could go over there and visit it right now. And they had a grotto. They got a cave over there. They call it the gate to hell. But when you go down right next to his, you had I think you might have had Pan. I think you had Zeus, but damn near it was like three or four temples in this area, in Israel right now. And it's a lot of people that go over there and see it. A lot of it was dedicated to Pan. And like I said, they got this grotto over there, a cave where you go down in it. They had, altars down there. And so they go down into the grotto and, they doing all these damn rituals over there. But that was over there before Jesus. I'm not saying he was even alive, but I'm saying he was in the BC era. So they were already venerating Pan over in Israel before the birth of Jesus. These is facts. So they've been into that. That's why they Shabbat is on Saturday. You see, because they were already and I went over that and tried to break that down for y'all. So when we talk about the Jews and they control banks, you see what I'm saying? The Knights Templar, and they control the money, even during the medieval period. You know what I'm saying? And how but if you go back into Rome, that the temple of Saturn was the treasury. That's where they kept the money. That's where they printed, not printed, but that's where they made the coins in the temple of Saturn. So the college of priests that ran the temple of Saturn was in the ancient world the Jews and the Knights Templars of today. They continue down in that respect. And see, a lot of people say, man, I had to show them. When you go over there to Britain, this is all about, and over there they got that Grand Lodge. But in matter of fact, let me run that down, because I can't wait till tomorrow where I can show y'all the visual. You got London, and then you got the city of London. Okay, which is two different cities. You got the bigger London, which everybody know, but then you got the city of London. And the city of London was the area when the Romans colonized that area. The city of London is actually where the Romans actually inhabited that area. That's where they set up shop, put all their temples or their living quarters. You see what I'm saying? And so that's a whole separate entity from London. The city of London is like the Vatican. It's its own principality. You see what I'm saying? Within a city, it's its own. And in that small area is all the major banks in the world in the city of London. Even the Grand Lodge of Freemasonry is in the city of London. The fucking like they financial market is in the city of London. The Bank of the Rothschilds is in the city of London. You see, in the city of London. And so, I'm gonna show you that they have been venerating Pan and Saturn over there in the city of London when the Romans was there. You see, and so they brought that Saturn, the treasury and things. And so today, exactly where the Romans was is where they continuing to the great financial districts of the world right there, the city of goddamn London. Built on the temple of Saturn. The same system that came out of Rome is in there today. You see? And so when I break this down, we're going to break this shit down tomorrow. And I want you in the house. I already got it locked and loaded. The link right there in the chat. All you have to do is click it. This is on the this one right here is on the advanced level. And I'm gonna tell you why, because I did the making of the white man. It be motherfuckers that come in and, you know, and they be trying to, you know, flag shit and this, that, and the third. And so I had to take it up there where I know motherfuckers can handle this shit. You know what I'm saying? If you cannot handle it, then just stay the fuck on. Don't come. You know, because this is not for no, you know, this is facts. And if you scared of the truth, you need to stay your motherfucking ass where you at. You know, this is high profile information. Ain't nobody giving it up like this no more. You see what I'm saying? The day you can't, you know, back in the day when you had the Dr. Ben, the Dr. Clark, all the great master teachers, and you could get lectures from everybody. You see, there ain't nobody doing that but the general today. That's facts. Not on no level like how these niggas talking bullshit. They ain't dealing with the occult. They ain't dealing with nothing like this. Not on this level. The niggas out here that's talking about the occult, they trying to be with the Chrome. They trying to be with the Luciferians. You see what I'm saying? This is the brotherhood of the Nile Valley. We coming on the mass. We coming from the Nile. You feel what I'm saying? We ain't coming on that goat shit. You know what I'm saying? We rams, nigga. We ain't goats. We rams. You see? Yeah, the ram is a sheep. He ain't no damn goat. You feel what I'm saying? That's the woolly head, zoo type. You feel what I'm saying? Get on over there, family. We'll do, I got a preview on why ice people never worship sun god. We'll do that one early tomorrow. We're going to have a early lineup. But this presentation is going down tomorrow. I'm going to be ready to go about, you know, I know it's a weekday, but even if you don't get it live, it's going to be there for you. So when you come in at the advanced level, you're going to see it's already stacked with presentation, mind-blowing presentation already. So you get this one and you get shit. It probably at least 100 under the advanced. You know what I'm saying? It's probably more than that. You know, so you get to see all of that too. So get over there and get that work, family. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily liberation through African education. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Share it so the family can get access to this. Black Power.